I find the hypocrisy between censoring a person who's still alive, who can clearly go on to YouTube with his fan base and followers and probably become more successful and have a larger platform than he has with ABC right now. Is he actually censored by the government and by Trump? And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And speaking of graping, funny story. I'm trying to learn a new language. I'm trying to learn Mandarin. My wife is from China, and I learned the word grape in Chinese, and it's putao, right? And I'll stick the character here, but putao it's an extraordinarily difficult word to write in Chinese. I mean, it's 3 letters, pu and tao. I got really frustrated trying to learn how to write this silly word, and I decided to say cao pu tao, which basically in Chinese means fuck grapes. And my wife, she was pretty upset by that when I read her the sentence. I've been to China a few times, and it's a beautiful country. The people are amazing, fascinating, and just a really, really fun place to visit and experience the lives of that culture. I went out there with my phone and my laptop, and I have no access to any of my platforms at home. So I can't watch YouTube. I can't even check my Gmail. I can't get my Yahoo Mail. I can't access my videos through Vimeo. All of these websites are blocked in China. And the great firewall out there is doing a hell of a job bypassing the VPNs, ExpressVPN, NordVPN. None of these VPNs work. And I was, up there for a month, just desperate. How do I check my email? How do I contact my friends? I mean, I was fully text-based, saying, hey, can you check my email, copy and paste anything important and send it to me, sending that out to friends. But I'm like, this is just a huge pain in the ass. How do you stay in touch? And China's firewall is so good that it was really, really difficult to actually crack through it. So that's what I want to talk about a little bit, is censorship. What actually is censorship? We can talk a little bit about censorship as the law. So let's do that. I mean, censorship from the legal perspective is basically a guarantee by your United States government that if you say something in opposition to the government, you're not going to get arrested. You're not going to be thrown in jail. And there's not going to be a prosecution based on the words that you speak, condemnations of people or of laws or of policy. I mean, even if you say the most horrific words online, you can dance on Charlie's grave and you're not going to get arrested for it. But there are some limitations to free speech. There are limitations to speech. The most obvious is you can't send death threats to people. You can't plan to overthrow a government, or you can't plan to burn down a house with your friends on the internet. You can't be sending text messages to each other saying, let's do some destructive shit. I can't create a YouTube video that is trying to organize some sort of violent event. That's against the law. And then I can't defame people. I can't knowingly lie about somebody and claim them to be something that they are not, or say that they said something that they didn't. That's actually against free speech law. It's interesting though, because speech is it's such a gray area. It's so arbitrary that the government rarely ever investigates or prosecutes any of those violations of speech. I mean, people are getting death threats all the time. People are getting nasty texts all the time. People are lying about things that they see on the internet. The media is rewriting what actually has happened, or they're only showing you a snippet or a clip of what they want to show you to try to forward a message that they want to convince you is true. So that's what I want to get into a little bit. We can actually say whatever we want online. We can give hate speech. We can tell people how nasty they are. We can try to create a rhetoric around evils of leftists or the horrible moral failures of the people on the right. I can call somebody a MAGA Republican even if they voted for a Democrat for the last, 20 years. And so there's really nothing that I can't say about somebody else. I can say offensive, hurtful things. I'm not going to get prosecuted. I'm not going to go to jail for that. And I could even say, we should burn down that building, or we should do this horrific thing. And that's completely within the law. And I do kind of find it, sad. His speech, Charlie Kirk, he's buried under 6 feet of dirt, and yeah, he's totally quiet right now. But Jimmy Kimmel, he can keep on talking as much as he wants, and he's neither dead nor is he in jail. So this argument about him having lost his ability to speak is completely bogus.